Hi guys, so today we are doing reducing formula, which is to simplify your trig ratios or expressions. So now, for us to do that, we must know how to draw our cast diagram, which consists of the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. So in the first quadrant, there's A, meaning that all your trig ratios are positive, your sine is positive, your cos is positive in this quadrant, and your tan is also positive in this quadrant. And in the second quadrant, we have S, meaning that only sine is positive in this quadrant. The rest of your trig ratios, your cos is negative, your tan is negative in this quadrant. And then we go to the third quadrant, which has T, meaning that only tan is positive in this quadrant, and the rest of your trig ratios are negative. Your cos is negative, your sine is negative, right? Very important. And then the fourth quadrant, we have C for cos, meaning that in this fourth quadrant, cos is the one that is positive, and the rest of your trig ratios, your sine is negative, your tan is negative in this quadrant. So how will you know this? You must be able to identify angles in each quadrant. So let's look at this first quadrant. We have 0 and 90 degrees in the first quadrant, meaning that the angles that lie in the first quadrant, it's 90 degrees minus theta. When I say minus theta, I mean they only lie in less than 90 degrees. And also we have the second quadrant, in which we have 90 degrees plus theta, meaning that this 90 degrees here plus theta, you will have an angle in the second quadrant. And we also have 180 degrees minus theta. So here it's going to be your 180 degrees, meaning that any angle below 180 degrees but above 90 degrees will lie in the second quadrant. Then going to our third quadrant, we have 180 degrees plus theta and 270 degrees minus theta. So means that here you have your 180 degrees. So any angle above 180 degrees will lie in the third quadrant, but it must be below 270 degrees. That's why you have 270 degrees minus theta. It must be below 270 degrees. So it will lie in the third quadrant. And then we go to our fourth quadrant, which is 270 and 360. So it means that any angle that is 270 degrees plus theta will lie in the fourth quadrant, or 360 degrees minus theta. So angles between 360 and 270 lie in the fourth quadrant. And going lastly to the first quadrant, we have 360 here. 360 can also overlap. So we'll have 360 degrees plus theta. So if we're going to add a theta from this 360, we will have 360 degrees plus theta. So these are the angles that lie in your cast diagram. You must be able to notify them, as it will help you to understand which trig ratio is positive in which quadrant.